All right, boys. I did this last year. I was inspired by Jay Schlatt, and I thought I would do it again this year. 2025 is wrapped up, and to celebrate the end of the year, I thought it would be cool to go through some of my favorite creators that I watched over the last year. Just give them a shout out. And maybe if you guys like them, you can check them out. And if not, that's fair too. But rather than just pull up a few YouTubers, this year I decided to break it into 3 different categories. And I wanted to give a list of 5 different YouTubers, 5 different short form creators, and 5 different streamers who I watched a lot this year. Now, they're all various sizes, you know, like some are big, some are small. I tried to include people that I more specifically watched this year. So like Squeaks was my most viewed streamer this year, but I didn't put him in my list because I think you guys mostly know Squeaks. I've, you know, done a lot of collabs with him. I've mentioned many times that I like watching him. So these are channels that I might not have been as vocal about. So anyway, let's dive in. Let's dive in. And I want to start with, let me pull it up right here, our short form creators. Because I think that's kind of an interesting category. Obviously, like a lot of people will doom scroll, you know, TikTok, Reels, Shorts, whatever. But there are a few people who I think make those short form content places good. You know what I mean? There's a few people who are bright spots in what I would call the slop that is the short form factory. So I want to start out by shouting out the biggest creator I think that I have on this list. But I watch him so often that I felt remiss to not include him. This is a TikToker. He has a couple million followers, and he goes by the name, you might recognize the song, Mr. Biao. I love Mr. Biao. So if you don't know, Mr. Biao is a short form creator. Literally all his content is making, like, you know, authentic rural Chinese food, which a lot of the time just ends up being brick sauce. And I get his videos, I think, probably 300 out of the 365 days in the year, usually around midnight to 1 a.m. And he plays the same exact song every video, and I usually look like this while watching. Anyway, that's the first short form creator I want to shout out, Mr. Biao. Now we'll move on to our next short form creator. And these creators are going to be, you know, much smaller and also speak English, so maybe you like that. This guy, I think, so there's a lot of people who do food review content. I think this is the best food review content creator on earth right now. I think he's genuinely the best. And I don't see a lot of people talking about him, but I think he's incredibly thorough. I think his editing is very good. And I think his reviews are very trustworthy. A couple of you got it, actually. I'm talking about Joe is Hungry. He has a few 100,000 followers. He's on TikTok, also on YouTube. But let me pull up his quesarito video.
Joe is hungry. Big reveal.
This is the quesarito deconstruct reveal.
This is what it looks like, and this is what it is supposed to look like. This is what it actually looks like when you get it out of the drive-thru, and this is what they would have you believe it's gonna look like. We've seen what it looks like, and we saw how much it was. Nothing special about the price. As far as what it looks like, it kind of resembles the sad photos, except I don't clip the end off. I show you exactly what I get. As far as being part quesadilla, I'm really not seeing it here. It's looking more like a little burrito inside of a little bit bigger burrito.
Anyway, shout out Joe's Hungry.
Chicken finger number 1 is 192.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicken finger number 2 is 176.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicken finger number 3 is 187.3 degrees Fahrenheit. If you haven't watched this channel before, I like my food.
This is not short form content. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, short form content has expanded. TikTok now uploads 20-minute videos, but like if I found someone on my TikTok For You page, I'm not like that much of a, you know, label queen. Technically, he doesn't even eat it. He eats it. I think this is his full review.
Thank you.
I think he buys 4 when he does it because he does 2 in the parking lot and then he brings 2 back to his studio and then he does his deconstruction on the studio. Anyway, shout out Joe is Hungry, one of my favorite short form creators. Next short form creator. Now this is mainly an Instagram creator. I tried to have a varied list, excuse me, of creators. So this is a specifically Instagram creator. This is somebody whose content I look to when, you know, times are tough for me, and they usually brighten my day. I am, of course, talking about drakemayelover. All this guy does is comment on every video about Drake May with the caption Drake May and post clips of Drake May. And anytime Drake May does any bad play, he posts the Men in Black Will Smith Forget Me Not device. And anyway, I think he's great. I think he's the GOAT. Shout out Drake May. And shout out drakemayelover.
Down 2. Drake May. Time and distance going, and he's got him! Bouquet touchdown!
And that's what'll happen again on Sunday. That's what's going to happen on Sunday. Sorry, Texans fans. That's what's going to happen on Sunday. He also coined the term Drake May May. It is true. He did coin the term Drake May May. Anyway, I don't have Instagram logged in, so I can't look at his reels, but that was my third one. Okay, I got 2 more. The first one, I think this guy's videos rule. They're quite niche, so I think some people might not be into them. But for me, someone who like enjoys classical music, but like, you know, I think from an arm's distance, like I didn't grow up with like a training in classical music. I think his videos break down stuff in a way that's very enjoyable. So I'll give you an example.
Classical music doesn't get
This
much
is
dark.
Daniel Anastasio, or maybe Anastasio. And all he does is break down classical music.
Darker than this. The last movement of the piano trio in E minor by Dmitri Shostakovich. See, Shostakovich had friends fighting in World War II, and he heard that the Nazis were forcing Jews to dance on their own graves before shooting them. So this movement is a kind of twisted representation of that scene. Klezmer.
That's a bit dark. So, vary your life. Watch something different than a short form piece of TV content. Learn about the earth that you live on, you fucking cultureless swines. Christ. Your life needs to revolve around sunshine and rainbows. Pathetic. Feel the breadth of emotion that we humans desire.
Eventually the movement erupts into a kind of chaos between the 3 instruments, but to get the really full effect of this piece, you have to listen from the beginning, from those opening harmonics in the cello, which return full circle in the final movement. Classical music.
Anyway, I think he's beast. And now I want to bring you to my final short form creator. Now, obviously, this creator, and I think everyone else I've listed, doesn't only do short form. I think they do short form, they do long form, whatever. This guy is a streamer, but I think you guys might know them for their short form content because they have a couple of incredibly viral videos. I'm going to play a few of them here. His name is BasslineMacc.
As some of you know, I went to Twitch.
He is a streamer and following that YouTuber and short form creator. Let's play 3 clips.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Dude, I was gonna do well-dressed Wednesday, and I'm out wearing this. Hold up, let me go change. I'll be right back. What's up, goobers? Welcome to Well Dressed Wednesday. You think I'd forget about Well Dressed Wednesday? This is the first one. I invented it today. Oh, it's Wednesday. Dude, this goes in. Oh, that's a little soft. Never mind, it was way too hard. Wait, what if? That's more exciting than that time I got a bowl of Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs! No, they're bad for me. Alright, only a spoonful.
Yeah, I think this guy's. I mean, I think he's a really creative bit that he adds to his stream.
Tough news today. I went to the doctor and well. So what's the diagnosis? I'm afraid you have TBD. How long do I have to live? We don't know yet. I got TBD. I got some.
So anyway, I think he rules. Shout out BasslineMacc. I think the worst part, honestly, of the gags that he does is I'm sure people go into his live streams and just wait for the gag. And, you know, in a 4-hour stream, how many gags can you really pull off like that? But that's a good problem to have. Anyway, those are my 5 short form creators. Let me pull over to my 5 Twitch streamers, okay? Because I got 5 Twitch streamers. I actually only wrote 4 down on hindsight. I got 4 Twitch streamers who I've liked a lot this year. And I was at first I was like, oh, let me try to find some smaller creators. And I honestly couldn't. And it's harder to show off their content as well. So I'm just going to show you people who I like watching. They're not necessarily the smallest creators or whatever, but they're people who I think rule and I think are doing a really good job. So first one, Joe Bart. Okay, now when Joe Bart's live, I tune in. I used to know Joe Bart as the beanie guy on TikTok who yelled. I think Joe Bart's like one of the best streamers right now. I think Joe Bart rips. He's super consistent, and he does long streams with a variety of content. Also pretty good at scheduling his shit, okay? I think this guy is a terrorist of a man, but I've been binge watching Feinberg. I think, let me say it, bro. Okay, never mind. What is this? He thought he could beat me? That's how we're titling videos now? Bro, I've been watching so much Feinberg. I think Feinberg streams rule. He's also addicted to streaming in a way that I think is pathetic and unhealthy long term, but he's a consistent streamer because of it. Like, you know, he has his like cousin's wedding and he's like, yeah, I can give up 4 hours, but I have to go live tonight. So he's definitely in that hustle period where he gives it all up for the stream. Next up, I've shouted him out before, so this should be no surprise, but again, this is 2025, and I'm trying to make sure I shout out people I've watched a lot in 2025. MidnightSumo.
Probably needs at least 6 wins in order to hang around here in Division 2 next tournament.
Love me some MidnightSumo. I think such a cool streamer who does such a unique thing that there basically is like no one else doing it like him. And he has such an insane knowledge of sumo. By the way, I think some people misunderstood me the other day. I was talking about him, and I said he doesn't speak Japanese, and he translates. He only translates the winner's interview. He's, like, studied sumo wrestling for 10 years and obviously does his own commentary for it. He's just a huge sumo head.
So
wait, what is Atriarch doing on stream? There's 2 of them. And then finally, I only wrote 4 down, and this might seem a bit obvious, but I think Slime is an underrated streamer. The original lolcow Slime. The worst part of Slime's stream is typing in his chat, but I actually think he's an underrated streamer. I think Slime was my maybe 2nd or 3rd most viewed streamer last year. His content's electric. He's gonna hate you for this. I don't care. I'm not doing this for him. I'm just being honest about the people I've watched last year. So anyway, that's my 4. That's my 4. I didn't have 5 for Twitch, I'll be honest. But I want to wrap it up with what we did last year, which is YouTube long form creators. Okay, I have 5 creators who I want to shout out. 5 long form creators. Okay, I think this is deadass one of the best YouTubers. I think it's deadass one of the best YouTubers on earth, and YouTube is their side hustle. Okay, YouTube's not even their main squeeze. I am, of course, talking about the tech review DIY channel, HTX Studio. Dude, this channel's insane, bro. This content is so high quality. It is blowing other YouTubers out the water. It is blowing other YouTubers out the water.
Tried everything we could think of. I honestly didn't.
This video, he makes a piano that lets you see music.
know what else to do. We've abandoned projects before, but never one that consumed this much time, energy, and effort from almost everyone in the studio. If this failed,
Let me see if I can find that. Look at what he made, bro. This shit's insane. Is this special to make? Dude, you have no whimsy. I'm sorry, you have a pathetic lack of whimsy and love in your life. Like, to look at this and be like, is that special? It's like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, go back to your shorts or some shit. Go back to your slop. Piggy, the same for you. To see this and not feel like anything special in your heart, like, we just have different hearts. Anyway, they rule. I think their main thing is like Billy. So YouTube is like their side thing. But I think it's so, yeah, I think it's dope. I think it's dope. I think HTX Studio rules. Not subbed. Yeah, I mean, that's not really how YouTube works. Do you know what I mean? I don't really subscribe anymore. Am I alone on this? That's not really a thing I do. YouTube just serves me videos of people that I watch. All right, next. Okay, this YouTuber rips. I only discovered him because he rated me once on YouTube, but I watch a fuck ton of his videos. His name is Killdozer. All he does is put himself through an absurd diet with absurd restrictions, like only eating white food or only eating black food or only eating from Bass Pro shops or Buc-ee's or hot dogs. Just absurd diets. And I think the videos are awesome. I think the videos rip. They're also like the return to form for YouTube, where it's like less highly edited, less highly curated, and they're just quite intimate, and it's just a man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Killdozer
with a very simple premise who does it intimately.
TV video. For the next 5 days, the only thing we are eating is sushi. Well, hold on a second, guys. We have some rules and regulations for the sushi diet. Rule number 1, everything that we eat must be sushi. Rule number 2, no outside water sources. We can drink anything except for water. Rule number...
Dude, that's the weirdest...
Number 3, we are allowed to use sauces and toppings. Wild!
That's the way he does it for every challenge. He has this rule where you can't drink water. I don't know why he does that to himself, but it's always a rule.
Card rule. We are allowed to make our own sushi. There are no more rules. The time has come for the sushi diet to begin. Day 1, guys, let's see how much we weigh.
I've been feeling like a big boy lately. 248. No, not a big boy.
Jessica and I are going to Costco to go Christmas shopping. While we're there, we're going to
He is a ridiculous man.
We're getting our Costco membership. A brand new Costco member. Costco salmon. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure we can use this for sushi. $22 tuna and salmon nigiri from Costco. Jessica's getting some shrimp. Guys, I'm gonna put the salmon back and just get this sashimi tray. We can just use this instead.
He was a college football player, but I think had an injury. And now, actually kind of sadly, he has like pretty debilitating back pain. He has a couple videos about it. But yeah, he played for UCLA.
And they have sriracha salmon poke.
Anyway, his videos are fire. Shout out Killdozer. Shout out Killdozer. His videos rip. And I like him a lot. All right, next. Dude, this guy wasn't even on my list, but I do think his videos are awesome. I do love Alex, who dances to random soundtracks. I do watch an absurd amount of them. This wasn't on my list initially, but honorable mention.
Do you know Hobby Lobby has hundreds of incredible products on sale every single week?
think this dude rules. I also think we don't have enough dancing anymore. I feel like, you know, dancing kind of got taken by like trend TikTok dancing. You know, what happened to freeform vibe dancing? You know, that's what dancing's supposed to be. It's an expression of your body. That's what I like about that. So vulnerable. I think it's so honest. What an honest thing to do with your body. We've lost dancing, yes. And I say we Americans. A lot of Americans have lost dancing. Especially white Americans. Okay? Even triply as bad. All right, next. Okay, this is a small creator. I randomly found one of their videos, and I was just mesmerized with the video. I thought it was a really good premise. I'm going to read the title out for you. I solved a Rubik's Cube without any help. It broke me.
The Rubik's Cube, an iconic toy that pretty much every kid comes across growing up, but only about 5% of the population can actually solve. But of that 5%, how many are able to do it completely unaided, without looking at any tutorials, guides, or instructions? Personally, I know none. So I set myself a challenge. I would not stop until I solved this iconic puzzle using just the power of my brain. Would it take 1 day, 2, my entire fucking life? That's what the goal is. That's what we're gonna find out. It's the unaided Rubik's Cube solve.
Anyway, it's a cool video. It's obviously quite long, but he goes through the process of trying to solve it. It ends up taking 43 hours. Not the quickest solve.
So I'm just gonna focus on getting the white side.
But 43 hours, by the way, is kind of crazy. I think it would take me a fucking minute. Spoiling? Well, it's not about how long it took. It's about the process he took to learn it. Maybe that's my interpretation of it. Maybe you guys only care about it. But anyway, his name's Rui, and I think that's a lot of his videos. And I discovered, because I watched his, okay, this is a big ego moment. I watched his video, and I literally thought to myself, this guy watches my videos. Which is an egotistical thing to think. But I could tell. I could just tell. There was a couple of things I could just tell. And he was also, I think, using some of the soundtrack that me and Schlatt made. And then I followed him on Instagram, and it turns out he messaged me. I was right. I was right. Okay? I was right. But I didn't know that when I saw his first video. I just literally had this pop in my algorithm, and then I watched the rest of them. But I think he has a cool premise. I think his premise really should be, because I would argue these videos are a bit of a deviation. You know, like I don't think he should be going for fighting games. But I think the premise of like learning something from scratch unaided is really interesting to people. Especially the unaided aspect. I think that's quite interesting. But he's also quite new. That's like Mike Boyd. It is kind of like Mike Boyd. But anyway, I think he rules. Shout out Rui. And then my final creator. Okay, this is a guilty pleasure, but if I have people over my house and there's nothing to watch, but they want to, like, you know, we want to watch a video, I have to put something on the screen. I have the remote. I am in charge of putting something on the screen. I have people in my house. I will always put this creator's videos on. Okay, because I think her videos rule, and you'll get it. You'll get why instantly, because her entire channel.
We've got 19 people all competing at a general knowledge quiz to see who is the smartest and who is going to take home the $500 prize tonight. Let's go.
Dude, a lot of you guys, by the way, are pathetic. Sorry, like you're basing your interests on diversity rather than just what you like. Check one Asian. Check one Mexican. Check one woman. It is bizarre. You guys, you don't work at a college, okay? You're not in charge of creating the textbook for Algebra 2. You can just enjoy who you enjoy. That's all right. That's an okay thing. It's not a DEI test. It's just what content creators you enjoy. Mind you, by the way, you're watching a white guy on Twitch. Like, let's not argue we're fucking breaking form here. All right, chat. Well, anyway, we got distracted, but that was the list of creators that I wanted to shout out that I've been watching a lot 2025. So shout out them.